Boston Celtics ended it. It's over. That was quick. That was Indiana had themselves a chance in game 1. They had themselves a chance in game 4. And I just thought that Indiana, to me, the problem throughout the series for Indiana was, Brevin, come playoff time, how you have to value every possession.
Yes.
And they just didn't.
Well, and
just bad mistakes at just the most inopportune times throughout the series.
Right, and the other thing we talked about and why I had the Knicks beating him in the last series was we talked about, like, who's the guy? Like, who when it gets down to it at the end of the game, who is the ball going to for there to be a play made? Halliburton, I think, has gotten better this year and is continuing to get better, but I don't know if he's the guy you say, put the ball in your hands and go make the winning basket. Now, can he make the right play and pass it to somebody else? But make the basket. You know, you look at the Knicks, you say Jalen Brunson's that guy. You look at the Celtics, you say that they got 2 guys, and Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. You look at Dallas, 2 guys, and that's why Dallas is being able to dominate, and Kyrie and Luka. You look at Minnesota, and I think a lot of us said, oh, you see Anthony Edwards ascending to that point. But there's still another level at doing it, and you're seeing the guys that do it at another level. And I just thought Indiana didn't have the guy to be able to help them in those situations. And I think that's what's happening, because these are all late game losses.
Yes.
This isn't Boston dominating the game and winning, running away. This was just late in the game, Boston being able to make winning plays when Indiana just wasn't able to.
Is Boston a great team?
I think Boston is a very, very good team. I don't say great team is because I think they mess with the game at times, and they rely so heavily on the 3-point shot. And I think once we get to this next series, hopefully we'll start to see what happens to them when teams just totally take the 3-point shot away. And force them to be okay with making 2s. And so I think that limits it a little in terms of being able to say a great team, because a great team, I tend to say, is they could do it again the next year. I think its circumstances will help them. But they're an excellent basketball team. And when they're locked in and playing the game in totality, they're fantastic at what they get done.
I mean, their results would say they are a great team because they've just dominated their way all the way to the NBA Finals without even being tested. You'd think in this next series they'll be tested, and we'll see what they're really made of. But I mean, I
think they'll be even better in
walk.
those. Yeah, I think they may even be even better in those tests, because I believe in their eyes they felt they were just superior to these teams that they played in the Eastern Conference. And when you have a mentality that I'm superior to you, then there's a little bit, you can have a little bit of the letdowns. And we saw letdowns within games, but at the end of the day, I give them max credit, because they still win games, even when you watch them play and say, man, they shouldn't have won those games. So I think there's just the greatness side of it is you go out and dominate every night. You don't have the nights of the letdowns. You don't have the games where now you get blown out, or you give teams an opportunity. I think that's just the part that keeps it away from being great. But it's only a notch below that.
Yeah. Well, they're on to the NBA Finals, and they will take on, well, it looks like the Dallas Mavericks, who are up 3-0 on the Minnesota Timberwolves.